Welcome back, everybody. South African visual artist Zanele Montle has recently been announced the winner of the inaugural Women to Watch Award, and this is through her black flat-faceless figures paintings. The accolade, which aims to highlight and acknowledge top women artists in South Africa, is presented by the Meta Foundation, the Project Space and End Street Studios. To tell us more about her and as well as her journey as a visual artist, Zanele joins us now via Zoom. A very good morning to you, Zanele. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live. Hi, Zanele. Very good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's such a privilege to be here, and also...
It is indeed a great pleasure having you join us this morning, Zanele. Let's start with you giving us a sense of who you are and when you knew that you have a talent for art. Hi, Zanele. Did you get that?
Oh, so I'm just a young girl from Mbangeni, but more specifically Ngwelezane. Yes, I did get that, so I'm answering. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, carry on.
Yeah, sorry for that. Might be a connection issue, sorry. Yes, so I'm originally from Mbangeni in KZN, but more specifically Ngwelezane. So visual arts is nothing new in our family or yet alone in my own personal life. I've always liked drawing and painting, and so therefore I furthered my studies, and here we are now. So I've been painting ever since, yeah.
Now speak to us about this Women to Watch Award. What is that all about and how did you come to win it?
The Women to Watch That Award is basically funded by the Meta Foundation, which works with a program on a studio in August House called the End Street Studios, in partnership with a gallery in Maboneng called the Project Space. And so basically the award, or the major part of the award, is to give young visual artists an opportunity to have space.
All right, so we seem to have a problem connecting to Zanele Montle, and yeah, we'll try to re-establish connection with her in just a moment. We'll try to call her back from a much more clearer line because, as she said, that she's really battling with her connection on her side. That was Zanele Montle. She's a visual artist and a recent recipient of the Women to Watch Award, which seeks to, engage women artists and which seeks to provide them a platform to further their craft. All right, once we have, well, I do understand that Zanele is now back on the line. Zanele, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about that. It must be a connection issue. I can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we had lost you there for a second. And I understand that this award provides you, the winner yourself with a couple of opportunities such as studio space and more. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, so the great opportunity is having a studio space to work in for 6 months. Which is obviously unpaid, and you've got Wi-Fi. And also the great part of it is to be able to engage with other artists. And it's quite rare to have your either your peers or colleagues or people possibly you went to varsity with to be working next door to you, so which is quite lovely. And also Meta Foundation also creates shows, and at the end of the year also get an opportunity to have a solo exhibition at the Project Space. So which is quite rare also. For a foundation to be able to provide so much to young emerging visual artists. And what I also like about this is that after my time at the space, someone else will also get an opportunity, which is next year, and one visual artist to be selected.
Speak to us about why it's so important to highlight South African women artists, especially through such awards.
It's very important. I mean, if you look at the stats, and also just basing on the 2010 stats, which was conducted by the Arts and Culture, is that there isn't really a huge percentage of visual artists, yet alone black visual artists. If there are, it's one thing to be an artist, but it's another thing to be able to sustain a career. And the percentage, if I'm correct, if I remember all my numbers now, it should be about 3%. So I think it's very important to create spaces which allow visual artists to actually nurture their talent and obviously share it with the world as well.
Most of your paintings, Zanele, contain a black faceless figure. Tell us about the significance behind this. Why a black faceless figure?
So I've been asked this question a number of times. So I think as an artist, you always want to engage the audience or the people actually observing the artwork. So I think with me, I wanted to remove the character of the figure. So I look at the images based on my family upbringing, normal day-to-day mundane images of figures. And of course, the paint is also, or rather the skin is painted black.
Okay.
And also speaking about ownership of the body, ownership of our culture and a sense of community as Black people. So I removed the faces, making it faceless to remove the sense of character, or you not being able, or the audience not being able to identify who it is, so that hoping that you can also find or see yourself through those artworks.
So to get a sense that people will actually identify with a faceless figure?
Because I mean, when you look at a painting, it's not just the face that gives out the character.
Yes.
It's the body posture, it's the portraiture. And also looking at the paintings in the background is nothing, but there is a sense of home, or a sense of an identity, which I also like to emphasize the whole idea of Black identity also as a visual artist. So without a face, people still are able to relate. In fact, I feel like better that way than having a face to somehow add onto their painting with some sort of emotion.
Now that you say so, now I do get it loud and clear. Thanks for putting that out, Zanele. And perhaps one other striking feature about your painting is your use of different colors. Tell us more about this.
So I think the colors basically come from what you call this memory, and obviously our cultures. I mean, looking at our South African cultures, it's almost as if we celebrate how bright and vibrant our colors are. So in my paintings, I also want to pull that and create a whole vibrant essence without using for instance, maybe Ndebele pattern or Zulu culture pattern. But all these colors, I draw them from conscious, intuitive memory, that is, yeah.
Where do you find inspiration for the paintings that you produce, Zanele?
Some people do know, some not. I've got about 8 siblings, so there's quite a lot. And
Sure.
so I'm originally from KZN, as I mentioned, and I went to Joburg. So having to move from KZN to Joburg, I did a sense of loss, a sense of anxiety from moving from one place to another. So through my painting, I want to capture a sense of home and bring it to Joburg, and playing also with the theme of figures. So I get my inspiration from family, from day-to-day life experiences. And of course, when I walk maybe to a taxi rank, you can see people sitting there, even my grandmother sitting under a tree. So it's just mundane, but the beauty of community and the beauty of simplicity.
So where can we indulge ourselves in the beauty of your work?
Right, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, waiting the solo exhibition, which is going to happen at the Project Space at the end of the year. So I could say you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll keep you updated with all the information.
Zanele, great chatting to you, and I absolutely love your work.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, thank you. That was Zanele Montle, and she's an Empangeni-born visual artist, and she joined us this morning to tell us about her recently bagged Women to Watch award, as well as her journey as a woman in the arts landscape. This is Morning